I'm gonna read this verbatim right out of the contract because it is to try to even explain it and the logic of it, it makes it a little difficult. So maybe if I read it directly from the contract, it would make it just a little bit more clear. Section 28, discipline, and it's subsection K, double I, small I. A police officer against whom disciplinary charges have been filed, who has been administratively suspended, but who has not been dismissed from employment, shall receive payment of an amount based on an estimate of his missed opportunities to earn overtime during that administrative suspension. The estimate should be determined as follows. First, an initial estimate shall be determined by use of the following formula. A over B equals C over D, where A is the average overtime earned per day, where A is the average overtime earned per pay period by the suspended officer during the 78 or actual number, if less than 78, pay periods immediately prior to the pay period during which the suspension commenced. B is the average overtime earned per pay period per police officer during those 78 or actual number, if less than 78, pay periods at a police command to which the suspended officer was assigned during that period. If the officer was assigned to more than one police command during that period, the average overtime for that period shall be determined by using average overtime earned in both commands, basically. And then the last numerator is, or the next numerator is C is the initial estimate of the police officer's missed overtime earned per pay period to be determined, and D is the average overtime earned per pay period per police officer at the command to which the suspended police officer is assigned during the same periods the officer was administratively suspended. Okay? Upon determination of C, that amount shall be multiplied by the number of pay periods that the officer was on administrative suspension, provided that any pay period during that suspension in which the officer was absent due to sickness or injury or incurred in the line of duty at least half of his scheduled workday should not be used in that multiplication. Then the amount shall be subtracted all overtime, if any, earned by the officer during the suspension. The resulting balance shall be paid to the officer as and for missed overtime. Basically, what that A over B equals C over D says, if an officer is suspended and not dismissed from duty, he's found guilty or she's found guilty of an offense, receives a suspension of 20 days, 10 days, whatever is determined by the arbitrator, and not dismissed, they get the average number of hours they would have worked if they could have in overtime.